Live from Nashville Superspeedway, it's time to get primed with our Full Throttle Pre-Race Show live on the MTN Sports Network, sponsored by the MTSU School of Journalism and Strategic Media. Now let's go to the track.
Back for race 2 of this weekend at Nashville Superspeedway. Dylan Simmons, Jacob Burgess, Kendall Davis joining you live here at this 1 1/3 concrete racetrack. And we've got an incredible NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race coming your way. It's the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. Dylan alongside Jacob, and man, what a fantastic night for some O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing. We've got several hungry competitors here tonight, and of course we know that this O'Reilly Auto Parts Series produces some of the best racing on the planet, and we're going to have a front row seat here tonight in Nashville.
That it does, and the track out there is dry after some rain earlier in the day, shut down qualifying for this race and tomorrow's Cup Series race, but it's dry out. There's not a cloud in the sky nearby, and the sun's starting to set. It's going to be a beautiful night.
It is going to be a beautiful night. Cooler conditions as well could play a factor into how this race goes down. Several competitors, of course, to keep an eye on as always. But, of course, Jesse Love will be the main one tonight, the pole sitter for the O'Reilly Auto Parts race, currently second in the point standings. He'll have his teammate Austin Hill to his outside. That could be another guy. But the guy I'm really keeping a close eye on is Corey Day. Got his first career win at Talladega just a few weeks ago, and now trying to get his second career win here tonight at Nashville, Jacob.
It's going to be big for them too, both Love and Day. They're second and third right now in the standings, with Justin Allgaier starting a little farther back in the race than normal, and so this could be a great chance for them to pick up some points, try and cut into that lead on the overall board now that we're more than halfway through.
Yeah, that's a great point. Justin Allgaier is, of course, the points leader in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, currently with a league-leading 3 wins, but having to start a little bit further back in the pack today. He's going to be 17th. We'll see if he's able to make up that ground. There is just one Cup regular in the field tonight, so the opportunity to win for an O'Reilly Series regular is wide open because of that, Jacob.
That's right. Kyle Larson, the only Cup regular racing tonight. We saw a few last night in the Truck Series race, and we'll see them all again tomorrow in the Cup Series, though.
All right, Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. We'll have more pre-race coverage on the other side of this 2-minute break from the Nashville Superspeedway. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough. But if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk, a message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Back here at the Nashville Superspeedway for the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and it is the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. Dylan Simmons and Jacob Burgess joining you here from Nashville tonight. Let's take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's race. As we mentioned before we went to break, Jesse Love will be the pole sitter due to qualifying being rained out for the O'Reilly Series. Austin Hill, his teammate, will be in second to his outside. Corey Day in third for Hendrick Motorsports, currently third in the point standings as well. Carson Quapple back in the one car tonight. He'll be in fourth. William Sawalich is in fifth. And Kyle Larson, the Cup regular, will be at sixth. He's already got 2 O'Reilly Auto Parts wins so far this season, Jacob.
That is true. And when you're looking at it, really good spot for him to start off and could possibly make quick win. See if he's able to get out with a little bit of a lead there. Handle those pit stops one, hold that throughout most of the night if you're him. But really, Love and Day trying to pick up some big points here through each section with Allgaier starting so far back. And I think those are the crucial people to look for.
That they certainly are. Ryan Sieg will be starting in 7th. Sammy Smith will be in 8th. Parker Retzloff is in 9th in the 99 car. Garrett Smithley rounds out the top 10. He'll be in the 0. Those are your first 10 off the grid here in the O'Reilly race here tonight. Let's take a look at the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series standings. We talked about Allgaier, who's currently first in the standings. He's got a 145-point lead over defending O'Reilly champion Jesse Love, who's again 145 points behind. Corey Day is in third, 167 behind. Sheldon Creed has 1 win so far in the season, 1 career win, which he got at Atlanta. He's in fourth. Brandon Jones for Joe Gibbs Racing in fifth. Austin Hill in sixth, starting on the outside of the front row tonight. Sammy Smith seventh. Carson Quapple eighth. Parker Retzloff is ninth. And William Sawalich is 10th. And Jacob, as the cars get ready to roll onto the racetrack, I got to ask you, do you feel like we could see a first-time winner in the O'Reilly Series tonight?
It definitely is a possibility. If not, it could be Love. Hasn't picked up a win this year so far. He's high up in the slot there, right? But then you look at somebody like Day, also pretty high up, could do it. Austin Hill, looking at it so far, he has that 1 win. So there's a chance. I do think it's going to be somebody, it's either going to be their first or second win of the season, though.
It's certainly going to be fascinating to watch. Should be a fantastic 250 miles around the Nashville Superspeedway. We're going to take one quick 1-minute timeout, and when we come back, we will bring you O'Reilly Auto Parts action live on the MTN Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.
Your home for all things sports in the Tennessee Mid-State is right here on MTN Sports. We give you a taste of everything that our area sports have to offer. Our video content is second to none, with award-winning shows like Blue Raider Extra Point and live broadcast of sports like MTSU Tennis. Whether it's announcing, anchoring, or social media, we've got a spot for you to join our team. MTN Sports, your ultimate Mid-State sports hub. Hey media superstars, are you looking to take the next huge step? The Middle Tennessee School of Journalism and Strategic Media is here to help you with classes and degrees in entertainment, investigative, advertising, sports, and more. From award-winning programs to award-winning professors, we give you everything you need to make your dreams a reality. The MTSU School of Journalism and Strategic Media. Inform, entertain, design, engage. The chase for the checkered flag begins here. Live from Nashville Superspeedway, it's NASCAR on the MTN Sports Network. Brought to you by the MTSU Scott Borchetta College of Media and Entertainment. Now to bring you all the action on the track, here's Dylan Simmons and Willie Thaler.
Welcome back here to the Nashville Superspeedway. NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing getting set to take place in the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. Now here's how the race is going to be broken down. There will be 45 laps in Stage 1, 45 laps in Stage 2, and one final 98-lap sprint to the finish in the final stage of the race. Now, fuel strategy won't be as much of an issue early on in the contest, but as we get later on in the race, some of that strategy, of course, that's assuming there won't be as many cautions, could come into play, Jacob.
That is true, and especially with the track temperatures, it's getting really cool right now. They were able to get the track dry, and so a bit colder than normal, and so see how it works with the tire lineups too. How when people choose to pit, how many they're choosing to take on and off at any given time.
Well, one trend that's been very familiar in the O'Reilly series as of late is that Chevrolets have been dominating, Jacob. The top 4 drivers in the standings, guess what? They're all Chevy drivers. In fact, if you look at the total point standings in the top 10, 8 of the top 9 are all Chevrolets. So it's going to be interesting to see if anybody from the Toyota or Ford camp can maybe break up that tonight.
Going to be a tough battle to do that. I mean, when you look at that, you said 8 of the 9. What's the Chevy slogan again?
I can't remember exactly
Trying to draw
off
it
the top of my
head
head.
too.
Yeah, I just know we run well and we're winning races in this series right now. That's one thing that I'm sure they could agree on no matter what.
That is true. And then looking at it, see if somebody's able to pull off a performance like last night for Lane Riggs. I mean, he led 99 laps in the truck series race last night. Won the 2 first sections before dropping back during a pit stop. But see if they're able to pull off something like that tonight here.
And, of course, Cletus McFarland is also in the field tonight. Social media influencer and superstar is on the track for Richard Childress Racing. Can't go without mentioning him. He's brought a lot of eyes to the sport, and I got to be honest, coming into the track today, I saw a lot of Cletus shirts whenever we were out and about getting ready for this race, Jacob.
Hey, I mean, it brings a new level to it. Obviously, he knows what he's doing. He's not just some amateur out there, first time racing. But it's bringing possibly new fans to the sport, and that's such a great way to grow it, you know?
It certainly is, and of course Cletus has plenty of experience both in the O'Reilly trucks as well as the ARCA Menard series, and even got close to winning at Talladega in the ARCA Menard series, so looking to have a solid run tonight in his 33 O'Reilly car. And again, this is the 16th race of the season in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. And they haven't had a week off at all yet this year, so they've been charging hard since the beginning. They'll finally get a break after Michigan next weekend, but as of right now, it's all business for these O'Reilly drivers and a chance to increase their spot in the point standings and maybe a chance for somebody to steal a win tonight.
Really get to see who can run that, that length of time, week in and week out, handle it, keep your car well oiled and all that, to where it's week in and week out, you're competitive, I mean, that's going to be a crucial point. They are going to get that break upcoming, and I'm sure they're going to enjoy it. But, I mean, to run 16 weeks now without a break every single weekend, really good testament and challenge to what these drivers go through.
All right, the lights are off the pace car. That means it'll be time for this race to begin this time by. As the pace car peels off, the O'Reilly cars will make their way into the Echo Park Automotive restart zone. Jesse Love will lead them to the green. There's the green flag, and we're underway from Nashville Superspeedway. Love takes them down into the corner with Austin Hill to his outside, and this early going will tell us a lot about whether or not cars will get sprung out in this race.
Love able to hold it there, takes a clear gap going down that back straight, has about a car's length behind him there, going into turn 3.
Corey Day trying to go to the inside of Austin Hill for second. There's another Chevrolet trying to fight his way up through the pack early on. Top 3 are all Chevys. In 4th right now is Sheldon Creed trying to make some headway as well.
Love really getting a good jump there on that start.
Still 2x2 for second place right now. Corey Day and Austin Hill have been battling for a while. Back in the pack, it's 3 wide as you got a couple cars there on the back straightaway trying to get through a mess. Down into turn number 4 they go, and again, it's all Jesse Love so far. Kind of reminiscent of what we saw with Lane Riggs last night. He will lead them to lap number 3 here in stage number 1. Corey Day right on the left rear quarter panel of Austin Hill, still challenging for second as they're still 2x2 back towards the middle of the pack. Couple of cars 3 wide coming out of turn number 2 as well. Brandon Jones kind of mired back there in traffic in that bright yellow number 20. That Toyota has been pretty solid so far this season, currently 5th in the standings, but back there mired in traffic. We'll see if he's able to pick his way through. And already I see Justin Allgaier making his way up towards the top 10, having some success early on. He's a big mover early. Already up to the 10th position is Allgaier in the early part of this race, as Corey Day now to the outside of Austin Hill for second. He might be able to clear him going down the backstretch, Jacob.
He might be. It does look like going into 3. He has a gap there.
Jesse Love still with a very impressive lead in the early going. He's got a full second advantage over Corey Day right now, and it's impressive to see just how strong that Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet is, as they're 3 wide back behind them. Brandon Jones and Sheldon Creed fighting for position. Cars are a bit more strung out than they were after that restart. So far, it's been pretty smooth sailing, and that's good to see. We saw a rash of cautions toward the middle part of the truck race last night, but early on in the going, it was pretty clean. In fact, they made it through the entirety of Stage 1 without a caution, and that might be the same case tonight in the O'Reilly race, Jacob.
Seems like the first about 20 cars or so have really just strung out, got their line. Too wide in some sections, but the back half, though, really, I mean, they're still 2-3 wide at times here.
Sheldon Creed up 13 spots since the start of the race. Parker Retzloff 12 spots up, and the young phenom Brandon Cruz is also 11 spots up. Brent Cruz, beg your pardon. All of those guys doing a great job making their way through the pack early on. But Jesse Love continues in that Whelen Chevrolet to establish his dominant position on track as he continues to put a gap between himself and second place Corey Day. Justin Allgaier moves to the inside of Sammy Smith coming down into turn number 1, and Allgaier will easily take that spot. Already up to 8th position. We talked about it, Jacob. He was mired back at 17th at the start. He's moved up 9 spots.
Really good start for him, obviously, moving up that many spots with only in the first, 7 laps or so?
Yes, we are going to lap 8 now as Love crosses the start-finish line, And again, with this quick stage 1 as they get ready for the Kyle Busch honorary lap here in the O'Reilly Auto Parts race. Of course, Busch, a phenom in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series for many years, series leader in wins, 2009 O'Reilly Auto Parts Series champion. There have been Kyle Busch tributes all weekend long, and obviously since the news of his passing a couple Thursdays ago, Kyle Busch continuing to remain in the hearts of these O'Reilly Auto Parts fans. Love leads yet another lap as he takes lap 9 here in stage number 1. Looks as though he's going to set sail, at least for the time being. We'll find out later in the race if anyone has anything for him. But, I was talking about this with Willie last night, Jacob. It's important in the early going not to use up too much.
That is right. You don't want to damage the tires early on. If you don't need to push it, don't. I mean, keep the gas in there, ride it as long as you can. Especially with the tires, the track temperatures changing, the sun going down. I mean, really the only bit of sun still left on the track is that back stretch, and it's not super bright out there, so the track's not going to be too hot either.
4th and 5th in points, Brandon Jones and Sheldon Creed have been going at it the last few laps. Jones now to the inside of that yellow 00 car, trying to make his way up through the pack as they make their way down the back straightaway. Neither one able to get a big separation from the other. Otherwise, though, pretty strung out for the most part in this early part of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race, as it's pretty much single file. Do have a move to the inside here. Sammy Smith battling with the Dean Thompson car, and it looks like Smith is going to be able to take 9th for the moment. As they continue to go side by side down the backstretch, Smith kind of washes up the track. That's going to allow Anthony Alfredo and Jeb Burton to also get by him back around 10th position. So Smith getting a little loose up there. Got to be careful, especially running that high lane near the wall. And as a driver in this early part of the race, Jacob, you're obviously trying to go out and show your speed, but in many ways, especially with qualifying being rained out, it's also a discovery process, trying to see exactly where your car's at and what kind of adjustments you're going to need to make later in the race.
That is true. Not able to really go out there and see the full extent of your car. I mean, you have a couple practice sessions, but really, these first few laps, you see guys putting up numbers that are quite fast, obviously, but still something to where you're trying to figure out the tweaks and everything to where when you do come in for that first pit stop, you can make those minor adjustments, get through it as fast as possible.
Parker Retzloff trying to make a move to the inside of Jeremy Clements. They're battling back around 15th position. Retzloff, it looks like, will be able to take that spot. That's actually a battle for 21st, beg your pardon. Those two have been pretty competitive and racy these last few laps. Looks as though Retzloff, at least for the moment, is going to win that battle. And still, Brandon Jones and Sheldon Creed side by side coming out of turn number 4. They're easy to spot, Jacob, in those bright yellow cars.
They are. I mean, I think we do need to get some binoculars from our viewpoint, though. But, I mean, when you have the two bright ones, it's pretty easy to figure out who's who out there. Looks like the 20's taking the lead through turn 2 there. Going to come out. He's about a car's and a half length now.
Jones gets by both Jeremy Clements and Sheldon Creed in that bright yellow number 20. Still trying to find his way after having tough starting position early on in this race. We'll see if he continue to make moves. But Jesse Love still well out in front of Corey Day. 2.4 seconds separating the top two. Then it is Austin Hill in third. Carson Quapple is in fourth. William Sawalich in the 18 car is currently in fifth. 15 laps elapsed in the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. We're going to take a quick 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have more from Stage 1 here at the Nashville Superspeedway.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water. Then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said,
if it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisisfreetirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a...
Welcome back here to the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 at the Nashville Superspeedway. Dylan Simmons and Jacob Burgess joining you tonight. Jesse Love has led all 19 laps through stage number 1 so far in this race, with about 25 laps to go in the stage. It is Love, Corey Day, Austin Hill, Carson Quapple, and William Sawalich in the top 5 right now. Early on, Jacob, what are your thoughts on this one, and how is Jesse Love doing what he's doing?
Well, I mean, he's almost 3.5 seconds ahead. He's starting to catch the guys at the bottom of the pack there, starting to get close to lapping a few cars. I mean, really just out there in front, have a big jump. I mean, middle of the pack, though, kind of in that 18th through 22nd spot. Really good racing going on right there. When you look at cars like Brandon Jones, Sheldon Creed, Austin Green, that type of running order there.
We've got a battle for fourth here. Carson Quapple and William Sawalich going at it. Sawalich looking to the inside of Quapple, can't quite get to him, and that's going to allow Kyle Larson to clear William Sawalich and take over that 5th spot. Larson was lying in wait watching those two guys, and the experienced Cup driver able to make the most of his opportunity. And guess who? Justin Allgaier has moved up to the 7th position. He is quickly making his way up through this field and trying to get even closer to the top 5.
I mean, he's picked up 10 spots already today, and then you're looking at Larson just picked up his first positive spot there. Started 6th, now in 5th. But, I mean, when you got two guys fighting in front of you, somebody makes a move and you get a gap, I mean, you go for it there.
And that's an interesting thing to note with Kyle Larson is that we're starting to see some of that speed set in for him. I think that shows that Larson might have the best long-run car of some of these guys in the top 10. That could be interesting to watch, especially towards that final stage at the end of the night.
It would be, and with his immense.
There we go.
I was throwing an X in there for some reason. I don't know.
It happens.
Immense amount of experience. I mean, he's able to come in and stay cool, calm, collected, keep that spot going to where he's finding those pinpoints he wants to get through the order.
Jeremy Clements trying to make a move to the inside of the 87 car. That's back around 23rd position. Austin Green is the guy he's trying to pass. Still sticking to the inside. It looks as though Green's going to get the better of him, and he'll take over that spot around the middle of the pack. They're 3 wide back behind them. It's Justin Allgaier and Sawalich making a little bit of contact, racing up towards the top 5. Looks like Allgaier's going to be able to get around Sawalich, but that was a little hairy. And the top, really 4th through 7th, separated by very little here.
I mean, they're going 3 wide right there across the line.
And
up towards that wall to get past. I mean, that is a tough spot right there.
Well, and here at this track, it's pretty narrow, so you've got to be careful trying to go 3 wide in a situation like that. Quapple still is in 4th, but he's got Kyle Larson all over his tail. Allgaier now to 6th. William Sawalich has dropped 2 spots since the start of the race back in 7th. That 4-car battle is going to be very interesting to watch as we get closer to the end of the stage because, of course, Jacob, stage points on the line. And although that may not mean as much to Kyle Larson, for these O'Reilly regulars, it's going to be absolutely crucial for them.
It is, especially with how it started. I mean, Allgaier already up to 6th, and so we knew he was going to be competitive, even starting kind of middle of the pack there outside the top 10. But Love, Day, and Hill really needing to hold on to these spots here to where they can pick up those crucial points, try and cut into his lead some on the overall board.
And how about Brent Cruz and Sam Mayer? Each of them up 20 spots from their starting position. Cruz started all the way back in 33rd, Sam Mayer in 34th. Those two are now in the top 15. Those could be 2 guys, especially if they get in clean air, that could be dangerous here, Jacob, as we've got Kyle Larson trying to make a move to the inside of Quapple. Not going to get to him yet.
I mean, they are flying around that track, up 20 spots already.
Of course, we've seen the pace pick up with these O'Reilly cars. We were at the truck race last night. Fabulous speed, obviously, but here in the O'Reilly series, they've got even more speed under the hood, and we're watching a fantastic battle now for 4th position. Kyle Larson going to the inside of Carson Quapple, going up into turn 3 and 4. He's going to wash up the track. Quapple, the crossover move, back to his inside down the front stretch, side by side, Jacob.
See there, the cars behind them able to help pick something up. That 7 car of Allgaier just kind of waiting for a mistake to happen in front of him. Now they're close to being 3 wide there as Larson's going to go high. Allgaier comes down low there.
Boy, this is tight. Quapple almost crowded him up near the outside safer barrier. Larson with a nose ahead down the backstretch. Now Allgaier looks to make the move above Quapple to the outside. They're going to be tight coming out of turn number 4. Is Allgaier going to try to go 3 wide? Thinks better of it. That was probably the smart decision. It's Larson ahead of Quapple for 4th. Allgaier now will pass Quapple as well on that outside, and it looks as though he might be able to clear him. Not yet. Quapple remains on the inside. Fantastic battle between those 3 cars. Allgaier with a nose out in front. He does clear Carson Quapple. Now right on the left rear quarter panel of Kyle Larson down the back straightaway. Allgaier to the inside, going to try the slide job maybe on Larson, and he will just about clear him out of turn 4, but Larson with the crossover back to the inside. Allgaier does clear him. He's got the spot.
Allgaier there, really good drafting techniques that he just uses. I mean, used Larson to get past the first car there in Quapple, and then drafted behind him through that turn. Was able to shake some dirty air there and get past him.
What a fantastic move by Justin Allgaier, and his march to the front continues. Now up 13 spots since the start of the race. But right now it's Jesse Love. He's led all 30 laps, and he's dominated here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Behind him is Corey Day, Austin Hill, Justin Allgaier, and Kyle Larson to round out the top 5. We'll take one more 2-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the finish of Stage 1 here at the Nashville Superspeedway with the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisisfreetirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Back here at the Nashville Superspeedway for the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. 10 to go in stage number 1. Dylan Simmons and Jacob Burgess joining you. Jesse Love has been the dominator so far in this race with currently a 5-second advantage over second place Corey Day. Austin Hill behind him in third. Justin Allgaier, the biggest mover out of the top 5 so far, in fourth. Kyle Larson in fifth. Carson Quapple 6th, William Sawalich in 7th, Ryan Sieg 8th, Sammy Smith 9th, and Dean Thompson rounds out the top 10. And with us getting closer to the end of the stage, the intensity and possibly the aggressiveness of these drivers will pick up, Jacob.
It definitely could as they try to pick up those stage points. I mean, we've seen Allgaier so far today move up. I mean, you said it earlier.
13 spots.
13 spots.
Right.
That's why he can be considered one of the best in the O'Reilly Cup Series.
He has certainly proven it throughout this year. 3 wins already this season. He had 3 wins in 4 weeks, as a matter of fact, in the month of March. Hasn't won in about a month and a half, but again, in the O'Reilly Series, with how competitive it is, that isn't saying a whole lot. Trying to make a move past Austin Hill for third, and he's going to clear him for that third position out of turn number 4 as Allgaier, who's been kind of the story of this first stage, just continues to march to the front. He'll try to pick off Corey Day next for that second position as we have 7 laps to go in the first stage.
He's got about a second and a half between him and Day there in second, so try and make up some of that ground here coming around.
And a couple guys that I'll be interested to see if they'll be able to move up as time goes on. Sheldon Creed still mired back in 17th, and Brandon Jones. They've been able to pick up a few positions since the start. Creed is up 7 spots, Brandon Jones up 14, but they haven't really been in clean air enough to be able to show their full speed throughout the night. So I'll be curious to see if they'll be able to make some headway as we get ready for the end of the first stage. Not going to be in position, it looks like, for any stage points, but certainly have some ground that they could make up as time goes on, Jacob.
I want to see how much Brent Cruz and Sam Myers can keep moving up the order. I mean, you look at them, 22 and 21 spots respectively there.
They've done a phenomenal job since the start of the race. And again, the starting order was a little bit skewed today because qualifying got rained out, so it put some guys in some awkward positions, and we got some guys starting in awkward spots, and thus it's kind of shuffled the field up a little bit from what it would usually be in a first stage like this.
That is right. I mean, we were here at the track and talking about the clouds that we were seeing off to the left side, north of the track, and, you know, You were like, oh, I don't think they're going to move in. I was like, they look like they're moving towards us pretty good, actually.
I was trying to be a little more optimistic. I was feeling the optimism early on in the race. You know, it's the power of positivity, and it didn't really work out. But the good news is we've got the race going here tonight as we've got 4 laps to go in stage number 1. Jesse Love still with a huge nose out in front of Corey Day in that second position. And we'll see if that will continue as time goes on. Justin Allgaier, though, trying to make his way up towards that second spot and Corey Day as they continue to battle. We'll have 3 laps to go this time by as they come across the stripe. Jesse Love trying to get by Cletus McFarland, one of the lap cars over there. And, of course, you got to be careful in this position dealing with lap traffic, Jacob.
That is true, especially early on. You don't want to – they're not going to get blue flagged most likely, and so everybody's still in competitive racing, so you don't want to ruin your race by trying to get past a lap car like Jesse Love is right now.
Sammy Smith trying to go 3 wide towards the outside, it looked like, as he dove down into turn number 1. Jeremy Clement still trying to pick up some positions. Jesse Love now with 2 to go in stage 1. That means that pit road is closed, Jacob, so nobody can come on to pit road here in this first stage until we get the caution flag as Love goes inside of McFarland to clear those lap cars. Had to go 3 wide for a second as he'll make his way down the back straightaway.
And I know he's not too happy about that, trying to get into some clean airspace when it's a lap car that you're trying to pass there.
Well, there's nothing more agitating for a leader than being in a position like that. Allgaier trying to get inside of Corey Day before this first stage comes to an end. Took a peek inside for just a moment. 1 lap to go in stage number 1. It is all Jesse Love right now, smooth sailing for that RCR number 2 car. Makes his way down the backstretch. Corey Day gets by a lap car. Justin Allgaier trying to make his way back up to him. Doesn't look like he's going to have enough time to be able to get that second spot as we've got a car sideways down towards turn number 4 and skating across the infield grass. That will probably bring out the caution to end this first stage. It's Cletus McFarland sideways, and there is the caution. Don't know if Love took the caution flag first before the McFarland spin, but that will bring an end to stage number 1. Corey Day first, Jesse Love first, Corey Day second, Justin Allgaier third, Austin Hill fourth, Kyle Larson will be in 5th, Carson Quapple 6th, William Swalich 7th, Ryan Sieg 8th, Sammy Smith 9th, and Brent Cruz rounds out the top 10 here in the first stage, Jacob. And that was a wild slide for Cletus.
It really was. I mean, a couple 100 feet before getting through the first stage cleanly, and then Cletus loses it there out of 4.
Couldn't tell exactly what happened to Cletus's car. It looked like he kind of got loose and then slid across the apron. Don't know if he just lost it over in turn number 4 or not. We're going to take a look on the instant replay board we've got up here in our booth. And he was racing to the inside of the 42 car, made some contact, and just lost the thing.
Slides there across the grass. Able to gets turned around, though, able to keep the car running. And he got back out there, and so not too much damage done, all things considered there.
That was Logan Bearden, who was to his outside. But the story of the race so far is Jesse Love, second in points, defending O'Reilly Auto Parts Series champion. He takes the Stage 1 win and has led all 46 laps so far at Nashville. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and see these guys head to pit road when we come back for the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 on the MTN Sports Network.
Smokey the Bear's boy. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do. What you decide, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back here on the MTN Sports Network. Stage 1 is now complete. The 55 car on pit road, and it looks like he's having a mechanical issue going under the hood, and that's never a good sight, Jacob.
Nope, Joey Gase is down there in the 38th spot. The only person to come in on pit road, the lone one, as the rest of the cars stay out there behind the safety.
Yes, but usually in that situation, I'd say Joey was just trying to get it back to pit road to get that issue addressed. They will have pit road open here in just a little bit, and we'll see what these guys decide to do. But usually in these circumstances, Jacob, I'd imagine we'll see 4 tires and fuel for most of the field.
It's going to be one hectic pit lane, if that is true. We'll see as they're coming around turn 4 here. Who decides to dive down in?
Looks like just about everybody, and that's indeed going to be the case. Everybody coming down to pit road, and that's about what you would expect. And like you said, pit road could be chaotic here. We saw a collision on pit road last night. Hopefully we don't see that here as Carson Quapple dives into his pit stall. Same goes for Sam Mayer. Corey Day getting some service towards the middle part of pit road. Jesse Love in a pretty good pit stall towards the front of pit road. And Justin Allgaier has the very first spot on pit road by virtue of being the points leader. That could help him here.
See how fast he's able to come out. A couple of the cars staying out, though. Mason Maggio?
Yes. Ended up staying out. A couple of cars almost collided on pit road there. Jesse Love will win the race off pit road. Allgaier, thanks to that good spot on pit road, will take the second position out of pit road. And that will set up those guys well for the restart. Carson Quapple moves up 3 spots as well on pit road. Great job by his crew. And Kyle Larson loses 2 spots. Corey Day losing 3 spots on pit road, so not good for them. And there's trouble on pit road for the 87 car as he's being attended to by his crew. I'm not sure what happened. Looked like he may have missed the pit stall initially. Austin Green trying to get back under power, and indeed does. So we'll have to see if anything goes wrong with him. Caution flag still out here at the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race, as we do get confirmation that he did indeed overdrive on his pit stall, so that was the situation with him. By the way, folks, this caution flag is brought to you by MTSU Campus Recreation. Want to thank them here tonight. Well, we'll get set for the restart and for stage number 2 in just a moment here at the Nashville Superspeedway, folks. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in 2 minutes here for the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 on the MTN Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Back here at the Nashville Superspeedway, Stage 1 complete, and the Stage 1 win going to Jesse Love for Richard Childress Racing. But the race off pit road produced some interesting results. By the way, folks, the race off pit road is sponsored by the MTSU Campus Recreation Center with a variety of leisure and recreation activities. You always score big with MTSU Campus Rec. Visit today at 1848 Blue Raider Drive in Murfreesboro. And Jacob, I know you've got some good things to say about MTSU Campus Rec, right?
Well, as a 3-year employee of them, I would sure hope so. I actually had a shift earlier today.
He did.
I did. I was cleaning a good bit over at the rec center earlier this morning. I was actually really happy that they went racing last night because I was talking to you over text and our other broadcaster, Willie Fayler, and he was like, yeah, not going to be racing until 10. I went, oh, no. And Willie may or may not wanted the race to get pushed to today, and I was like, well, if that does happen, I'm going to need somebody to cover my 2 hours
I'm
supposed to be putting in at the rec. And so I started texting all my co-workers to see who could take it. Luckily, though, truck race went on as planned last night, and we were able to go to the rink and come here tonight.
Wow, and Taylor Gray, the 54, had a problem with his left front tire, it looks like, getting onto pit road. That is completely flat. Sparks flying off of that left front car. We're taking a look at it on the replay, and he's back out there, but that was a scary moment, I'm sure, for that 54 Toyota. Pace lights are off the pace car, and we should be set to get these cars into the Echo Park Automotive restart zone for stage number 2 here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Jesse Love is on the inside. Justin Allgaier to his outside. Allgaier trying to take his first lead of the night. No one has led a lap outside of Love. We're green again here at Nashville. Sammy Smith trying to make a dive bomb move on Ryan Sieg to the inside going into turn number 1. They are 3 wide, back around 5th spot, Jacob.
Jesse Love able to hold on to that position. Allgaier went wide there going in the 1. Ultimately, it did not pay off. See if he's able to come back here around 3 and 4.
Jesse Love with the lead over Allgaier, but just barely. Justin is starting to make his way back right on the back bumper of Jesse Love. They're green so far, but they are getting spread out and frenzied in a hurry. Corey Day to the inside trying to take over 5th spot.
That's right, and then you see Austin Hill there just going up the 3rd. I mean, they're 3 wide coming down the back stretch behind Hill there with Day, Larson, and Carson.
Yeah, Corey Day, Kyle Larson, and Carson Quapple all trying to fight for position. They're still 3 wide. Larson right in the middle. Quapple to the far outside. Larson getting loose coming out of turn number 4. Able to stay in the throttle. Brandon Jones also in the middle, 3 wide. Larson trying to squeeze through the middle, and I don't know how he didn't crash a couple cars going down into turn number 1. They keep it straight. Now Larson gets loose on the outside. Contact from Austin Hill. He's able to save it. Hill will try to go by on the inside. They're still 3 wide down the backstretch.
Through all that mess just there, Allgaier able to pick up first place over Love, and so now he's leading there at the front of the pack. But going back to that tight racing there, just a few cars behind, going 3 wide through some sections here.
And good catch partner Justin Allgaier now with the lead over Jesse Love. Action all over the racetrack. You can't keep up with it all with everything that's going on. But Allgaier, we've been talking about him all night. He's made a hard charge to the front, and now he officially has the lead. What a start for him in this race. He has moved up incredibly since the start, up 16 spots from his 17th starting position. And now for the first time tonight, he's got clean air, and he's trying to use it.
I mean, there's a reason he's almost 150 points ahead of everybody else in the field. It's because he's able to come out here on a night like tonight, come back from starting late and move his way up through that pack, just picking people off.
Brandon Jones in the middle of 3 wide once again. Anthony Alfredo trying to take a peek to the inside. Jones with a car right on his left rear quarter panel. He's got, it looks like Corey Day or maybe Kyle Larson. Larson actually to his outside, right up against the outside wall. They're going to try to take it 3 or 4 wide maybe going down into turn number 3. Looks like everybody's going to make it through cleanly. Some sensational racing from these guys to not crash these cars early on. Brandon Jones will get that spot. Austin Hill all over the back bumper of Anthony Alfredo. Dean Thompson in the middle of that mess as well in the 25 car, trying to see if he can make his way up through the pack. The 26 car, to be specific. My apologies on the misnumbering there. But in front, it's Justin Allgaier with Jesse Love behind him. Carson Quapple now up to third. He's got a little bit more separation from Corey Day.
Those top 3 really starting to push off from the rest of the pack there. And then 4 through about 10, a lot tighter, especially when you're looking at that 7 through 10 spot.
We've got a car that looked like it was loose on the outside. No contact, thankfully. That was the 53 car who was trying to save it. And you've got LeVar Scott in the middle of 3 wide in his own right there towards the middle part of the pack, trying to keep that car in front of him. Looks like he'll be able to.
Joey Gase is going to enter pit lane here. And his crew not coming out to him, so a problem with that car, as he was already 2 laps behind, and that car looks to be smoking there on pit road.
Yeah, I believe that's the 38 of J.J. Yaley who's on pit road. And, yeah, he's got smoke billowing out from underneath the hood. We've been talking about him earlier on in this race. He's been having, it seems as though, mechanical issues all night long, and that might be enough to at least set him even further back or possibly end his race. We'll see as he makes his way down pit road. But again, it is Justin Allgaier now doing the inverse of what happened with Jesse Love in the first stage. Now it's Allgaier dominating after making his way through the pack. And I think we're seeing that as far as this race goes, in stage 2, the contenders, the true contenders, are beginning to emerge now that everybody's kind of sequenced up. And it looks like, indeed, J.J. Yaley will go behind the wall, Jacob.
That is true. He is going back there towards the trailers. Looks like his night might be done here.
Unfortunate for the former O'Reilly Auto Parts driver. He was full-time back about 15, 20 years ago, a veteran in this field. And speaking of veterans, Kyle Larson trying to make a move on the inside for about 7th or 8th position. He got mired back in some traffic earlier on. He's fighting with Ryan Sieg, and he's got the advantage going across the stripe with Brandon Jones right behind him. That is going to be a bit contentious, I would say, as they continue to fight towards the middle part of the pack. Larson currently listed in 11th, fighting Sieg for 10th. Jones is in 12th. And really, Larson and Jones have been in battles all night long. They're not unfamiliar with it at all. They know that in this situation, they've got to be aggressive to try to get more positions, as it looks like Corey Day trying to make a move to the inside. William Sawalich has made his way back up through the field. They almost make contact down the front stretch. It's Day with a nose out front, but Sawalich trying to take over that 4th spot on the outside lane. Getting tight as they get down the back straightaway. Sawalich still with a nose ahead of Day in that number 18 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. The man out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, trying to make his way up through the pack. Got his first career O'Reilly race win at Rockingham a few weeks ago, and it looks like he will be able to take the spot from Corey Day, and Brett Cruz right behind him trying to get past Day as well. Couple of young Joe Gibbs Racing teammates there, Jacob. We talked a lot about the dominance of the Chevys, but a couple of Toyotas cracking on the door of the top 5.
See if they can continue the push here as they try and get towards that top 5. I mean, those Chevys are all year just unstoppable, it seems like.
Well, we've got a Chevrolet leading the pack for Junior Motorsports, Justin Allgaier. 3 wins on the season. He's got 5 top 10s, 10 top 5s, 12 top 10s, and 207 stage points entering the race tonight. And he's continuing to show out with the lead right now. But I will say, Jesse Love maybe starting to close the gap a little bit more. It's down underneath a second now. We'll see if Love's able to make up any more of that gap as time goes on. The question is, does Love have better long-run speed than Allgaier? Allgaier seems to have a really good short-run car, but maybe Love will be able to bite into that lead more as time goes on.
It's going to be hard to tell here until we get into about, end of stage 2, start stage 3 here. Because Allgaier, I mean, he's moved up tons of spots already tonight. And so it's just hit or miss there, I mean, in the last few minutes.
24 laps to go here in stage number 2. Tight racing at the Nashville Superspeedway. Justin Allgaier out in front, but how long can he keep it in the second stage? Jesse Love trying to make up some ground. Carson Quapple is in third. William Sawalich is in fourth. Corey Day in fifth. Brent Cruz sixth. Sammy Smith seventh. Sam Mayer eighth. Parker Retzloff ninth. And Kyle Larson back in the top 10 for Junior Motorsports. We'll take a quick 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have more from Nashville here on the MTN Sports Network.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisisfreetirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this camp.
Back here at the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 at the Nashville Superspeedway, NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing, and a battle heating up for third position right now, for sixth position. It is Corey Day and Brent Cruz fighting for it, and it looks like Cruz able to clear Day and make his way into the top 5. It is still Justin Allgaier with the lead. His lead right now is a pretty hefty margin, but it's being cut down more and more as time goes on. He's only got a 3/10 advantage over Love. I said hefty, but that was probably a misnomer, Jacob.
Maybe just a little bit. I mean, there was a half a second going into the break, and so 2/10 over the last 2 minutes. Not too bad there.
Love now all over the back bumper of Justin Allgaier. They've got a lap car that they're going to have to contend with here in just a second. That may play into Justin Allgaier's advantage, or maybe Jesse Love's, as Love is all over his back bumper. Allgaier dives to the inside of the lap car. Love trying to get his right front underneath Justin Allgaier. Allgaier washes up the track. Love is going to be side by side with him down the front straightaway, trying to take back the lead.
Love there on that back straightaway. I mean, he closed space like nothing I've ever seen before there, Dylan. I'm going to be honest with you. And now it looks like he's able to get ahead. Good length there. And so going down the back straight, see if he's able to extend that lead. I mean, he was just flying.
He was absolutely flying, and he does clear Justin Allgaier on the back straightaway. He's got the lead once again. That long run speed really playing into Jesse Love's hands. Of course, he had a frustrating night last night in the truck race, got wrecked out in stage number 2, couldn't finish the race, trying to get some redemption tonight in the O'Reilly race, and it looks as though with the car he's got, he may be well on his way to doing that.
It's going to be a tough battle, though. I mean, Allgaier fighting back right now through 2.
Allgaier about half a lane lower than Jesse Love, trying to peek back on the inside. Love still has the advantage going down the back straightaway, trying to hold that. Allgaier going even lower down into turn number three. Love trying to block it. Jesse Love still in front of Allgaier, but can he keep that lead?
And right now, I mean, some of the best racing we have on the track. Everybody else kind of has given themselves a little bit of a gap in between whoever's in front of them and behind, and so Love and Allgaier right here now starting to head down that back straight. Really the best racing to watch right now.
Top 2 in the points here in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Jesse Love, of course, won the O'Reilly Series Championship last year, won the championship clinching race at Phoenix, upsetting Connor Zilisch for that championship, and writing his name in the O'Reilly Series history books, trying to go back-to-back for Richard Childress Racing here in 2026. Justin Allgaier, the 2024 O'Reilly Series champion, 31 career O'Reilly Series wins, looking for win number 4 on the year and his 32nd all-time.
I know you're a big Connor Zilisch fan yourself, and so I'm sure that wasn't a lot of fun to watch.
Well, Connor certainly is a great driver. I think there's a lot of people who are fans of Zilisch out there in the NASCAR world. He's certainly a guy who's emerged, but right now it's all about Jesse Love and Justin Allgaier trying to take this one here at Nashville Superspeedway as we've got 11 to go here in stage number 2. And, you know, it's interesting, Jacob, despite taking the lead away from Allgaier, Jesse Love still not able to put much of a gap on that 7 car.
No, they got some tight racing going on there down that back straight right now.
Allgaier trying to get back to the inside. Love keeps running the high line. That's very smart because that means you're going to have more momentum coming out of the turns. Allgaier's able to close really well out of turns 3 and 4, but it seems like Love's able to put a little bit of a gap on him coming out of turns 1 and 2. So both cars good at different points in the racetrack.
Update farther down in the pack, Austin Green just picking up the 25th spot from Patrick Staropoli. They were in some tight racing there for the past lap or 2.
And how about Taylor Gray, up 14 spots from the restart, was way back in 27th due to that flat tire he had on pit road. He's now up to 13th position for Joe Gibbs Racing, making his way up through the field and trying to get back into top 15 contention. Austin Hill has had a really troublesome stage number 2. He's dropped 13 spots since the opening flag of the second stage, so they're going to have to do some significant work to get Austin Hill where he needs to be. Blaine Perkins has also dropped 7 positions as well, but still all over the back bumper of Jesse Love is Justin Allgaier as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. What fantastic racing we've got here in this second stage. We're going to take one more quick timeout. We'll be back in 1 minute for the Stage 2 finale here at the Nashville Superspeedway in the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 on the MTN Sports Network.
Your home for all things sports in the Tennessee Mid-State is right here on MTN Sports. We give you a taste of everything that our area sports have to offer. Our video content is second to none, with award-winning shows like Blue Raider Extra Point and live broadcast of sports like MTSU Tennis. Whether it's announcing, anchoring, or social media, we've got a spot for you to join our team. MTN Sports, your ultimate mid-state sports hub. Hey media superstars, are you looking to take the next huge step? The Middle Tennessee School of Journalism and Strategic Media is here to help you with classes and degrees in entertainment, investigative, advertising, sports, and more. From award-winning programs to award-winning professors, we give you everything you need to make your dreams a reality. The MTSU School of Journalism and Strategic Media. Inform, entertain, design, engage.
6 laps to go in stage number 2 here in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series from Nashville Superspeedway, and the battle for the lead continues to heat up. Justin Allgaier going to the inside of Jesse Love coming out of turn number 4, both trying to deal with lap traffic. Allgaier right beside the 2 car, side by side down the front stretch again.
They're inches away. Allgaier able to drive in there. Little contact there going in the 1. Put some space between them. Allgaier leading so far. See if he's able to hold it here out of the turn.
He's able to clear Jesse Love, but Love going to look back to the inside. They're side by side again down the back stretch. What a fantastic race between the 7 and the 2 car. Both Chevrolets, one a Richard Childress, one a Junior Motorsport Chevy. It's Love back out in front as he clears Allgaier, making his way down the front stretch. Allgaier, though, gets the momentum on the left rear quarter panel, and he's got the lead again down the front straightaway as Love tries to side draft. 4 laps to go here in stage 1, Jacob.
It's going to be a tight 4 laps between these two. I mean, we've seen, what was that, 3 lead changes just now in the past lap?
And that's the thing. Lead changes were very few and far between in the early part of this race. That has completely changed as Allgaier goes to the inside again, trying to keep Love off of his rear bumper. They almost made a little contact there. Allgaier washes up the track. We'll see if Love can grab the momentum as they make their way down the front stretch. We'll have 3 laps to go in stage 2. Allgaier out in front.
Love with really good speed in the straightaways there. I mean, we're watching him on that back straight, and he's just closing space every time. Allgaier will come out of that turn with, a car and a half, 2 cars links on him. And by the time they're midway through that back stretch, I mean, it's gone.
The only 2 guys to lead laps so far in this race are Jesse Love and Justin Allgaier. Allgaier out in front in the middle part of the racetrack, trying to hold serve against Jesse Love. He's going to come by with 2 laps to go in stage number 2 as Kyle Larson and Ryan Sieg battling for 9th spot. Larson to the outside of him. They're going to be side by side as well down the front stretch. Larson now eking out in front of the 39 car. Allgaier out in front of Love, making their way down the backstretch. Pit road, by the way, is now closed. Going to the outside is Love trying to peek over on Allgaier. He cannot. Allgaier, though, back up the racetrack once again. Almost a little bit of contact. Love comes back to the inside. He's got the lead momentarily. They're side drafting again. 1 to go here in stage 2. Jesse Love all over Justin Allgaier's left side by side, going through 1 and 2. Love gets loose, goes up the racetrack, and almost made contact with Justin Allgaier. Allgaier still out in front. They are fighting like it's the white flag of this race, and it is the white flag here in stage number 2. A lot on the line. Allgaier cleared of Love, driving in that middle lane through turns 3 and 4. And it looks as though Justin Allgaier, through heart, grit, and determination, is going to take the second stage victory here at Nashville in the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. Love will be in second. Carson Quapple takes third. William Sawalich is in fourth. Brent Cruz in fifth. A couple of Toyotas now in the top 5, both for Joe Gibbs Racing. Corey Day in sixth. Sam Mayer in 7th, Parker Retzlaff 8th, Kyle Larson in 9th, Ryan Sieg in 10th. So 8 Chevrolets in the top 10 through the running order at the end of stage 2. And the only 2 guys, like we said, to lead laps, Justin Allgaier and Jesse Love. Love got the first stage, Allgaier gets the second. What a second stage battle we just witnessed, Jacob.
I mean, that was a really good one. There was some action behind them, too, with Sawalich and Cruz battling throughout those final few laps, too. I mean, they were dealing with lap traffic there, too, and so that was a tough one there for the 18 and 19 car.
Well, things are going to get very interesting as we get set for the final stage here in just a moment. The intensity is already picked up throughout the second stage, but this final stage is going to be a whole different animal. Cannot wait to see what we've got in store for these final 98 laps or so. We're going to take a quick 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll see what adjustments are made on pit road in the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 at the Nashville Superspeedway.
Smokey the Bear's boy. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do. Don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com, and remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, Did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said,
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Nashville Superspeedway. Through the first two stages here in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race, the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. And it's been the story of two drivers so far in this race, Justin Allgaier and Jesse Love. Allgaier taking the second stage win, but Jesse Love was all over his back bumper towards the end of that stage. And that sets up a very interesting dichotomy going into this final stage of action, because we know we've got a couple trips at least to pit road coming up. Strategy could come into play here with this fuel window we've got, as well as the potential tire wear that we may see off some of these cars. What do you think we could see on this next pit road stop, Jacob?
Well, pit lane now open as they're coming into turn 3, and so see how many people dive in. That first set, last time only saw one car on the first lap, see what it is this time, but a lot of people starting to split off there. It looks like Love is setting himself up to pit. See who comes off. Yep, Allgaier and Love coming off. Quite a few of the leaders coming down with them there.
It's going to be just about everyone. About the same as what we saw on stage number 1, no surprise. And this will help Justin Allgaier because, again, he has the very first pit stall on pit road. But this could be crucial for track position, trying to make your way up through this pack. This could be your best chance to do so. 4 tires and fuel will be expected for most of these drivers here, but I wouldn't be shocked if we get some 2-tire stops and maybe a little bit of strategy being in store. Looks like 4 tires and fuel for most of the guys, including most of our leaders. Carson Kvapil making his way down pit road. Jesse Love is now off, and it looks as though he's going to beat Justin Allgaier off pit road, who had a slow stop. Allgaier's going to lose at least 4 or 5 positions there. Wow.
Had some trouble there, it looks like, on that front left tire. And so dropped a few spots there. That's going to become crucial. But, I mean, we saw him move through the pack the past 2 times, and so out of that stage 1, and so I don't think it's going to be much of a trouble. Yeah.
Oh, yes, his old tire, the tire carrier dropped it in front of his front end, and then that kind of just threw the pit stop off a little bit. Allgaier, again, losing 4 spots on pit road. Brandon Jones, a big mover as well. He goes up 4 spots. Sammy Smith as well in the top 10 with 3 spots up in the running order. So a very interesting move down pit road. Jesse Love did win the race off pit road, and that's going to set up for a very interesting sequence coming up here soon for this final stage restart.
Now that second group coming in the pit lane now.
Yes, they will. These are some of the lap cars that'll be getting some adjustments here. By the way, folks, this yellow flag brought to you by the MTSU Charlie and Hazel Daniels Veterans Military Family Center. Support their mission to provide transition services for veterans and their families. Go to mtsu.edu/military for more information. Complete with 93 laps so far in this race, we will restart the final stage in just a moment. Who is going to grab the lead here in the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250? We'll find out when we come back in 2 minutes to the Nashville Superspeedway on the MTN Sports Network.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisisfreetirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. This is the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 for the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on the MTN Sports Network. Dylan Simmons and Jacob Burgess joining you here tonight. We've had a great race so far. It's been all about Jesse Love and Justin Allgaier, but as we saw before we went to break, Allgaier ended up having some trouble on pit road, Jacob, and he's going to have to restart from back in the 5th position. That could set up a very interesting dichotomy for this upcoming restart here.
It definitely is. I mean, you saw that tire carrier carrying both of those right side tires and, drop one in front of the car, and that slowed down the process there. And so not able to get that front left tire over the wall in time, get it there. And so really just a crucial point there. See how it turns out.
We will find out the results of that here in just a bit. Jesse Love will be restarting in the 1st position. Carson Quapple will be in 2nd. William Sawalich in 3rd. Brent Cruz 4th. Allgaier 5th. Corey Day 6th. Brandon Jones in 7th. Kyle Larson now up to 8th, so he's going to have a better shot here. Sam Mayer in 9th. Sammy Smith in 10th. Taylor Gray 11th. Sheldon Creed up to 12th. Parker Retzlaff in 13th. Anthony Alfredo 14th. Austin Hill 15th. Ryan Seeger in 17th, Harrison Burton in 16th. Dean Thompson in 18th. Jeremy Clements 19th. And Jeb Burton rounds out the top 20 as the choose rule will be in effect this time by, and I'd have to imagine most of these guys are going to choose the inside lane, Jacob.
Definitely. I mean, it's been working with them so far. We've seen Jesse Love do it all night, and so he started on the inside lane at the start of the race and at the start of stage 2, and so turns out so far so good for him. If it's not broken, why fix it?
Jesse Love will indeed be on the inside, and that's been the preferred lane all weekend long. We saw it as well last night in the truck race. Love will be on the inside for this restart. We'll see if Carson Quapple on that outside lane has anything for him. Also keep an eye on William Sawalich in that 3rd spot. Showed some pretty good long-run speed towards the end of the 2nd stage. He may have something to say about this race result before the night comes to an end. Brent Cruz in that 4th spot. He has been a young phenom trying to make his way up through the pack. Didn't even run a lot of the races earlier on in the year because he wasn't old enough. Searching for his first career win for Joe Gibbs. Trying to get that done here tonight. Allgaier, of course, will be in 5th as the the pace car will be peeling down off onto pit road here in just a moment, and we'll get set to restart this final stage as they make their way towards the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. It is Love on the inside, Carson Quapple on the outside. We're green again for the final stage at Nashville Superspeedway. And Allgaier dives to the inside of Sawalich, going for third position already, 3 wide down into the first turn. Love has a nose out in front of Carson Kvapil, but Allgaier wasting no time. He's already up to second, and he'll clear Kvapil for that second spot. Love with the first position. Carson Kvapil trying to make his way back on the inside as they dive bomb into turns 3 and 4. 3 wide back, further back in the pack, Sheldon Creed on the outside of that 3 wide situation. They remain 3 wide going down the front stretch. Love out in front of Allgaier. Brent Cruz now into third. Carson Kvapil in fourth. Here comes Brandon Jones making his way up through the top 10. He is in pursuit of Kyle Larson now to his outside. He may have a chance to clear him as they make their way down the backstretch. And pretty quickly they have fanned out and are somewhat single file here. But Larson and Jones still side by side through 3 and 4. As Larson washes up the racetrack, could be in a little bit of trouble here. Stays straight but definitely got loose. And he's going to lose major positions off of that.
Looked like there possibly was a bit of contact there with Larson and as he started to drop back.
That was nearly catastrophic for Kyle Larson. Did a good job of keeping that car underneath him, but it's going to cost him a world of track position, and he'll fall outside the top 15. We're taking a look at it here on the instant replay machine as you've got Corey Day and William Sawalich also in the midst of that battle. And some contact between Sawalich and Corey Day down the front stretch. Maybe a little bit of a tire rub on Sawalich's right front. We'll keep an eye on that here, Jacob. Justin Allgaier has a mirror full of Brent Cruz. We talked about that rookie. He's to the inside of the points leader for second spot, side by side as they make their way down the backstretch. How about the young man Brent Cruz in his rookie season for Joe Gibbs Racing in that Young Life Toyota, trying to clear Allgaier but not going to be able to. They will remain side by side down the front stretch.
Allgaier coming back through over the line here. Has the edge going into the corner. See if he's able to hold it here on the outside. Going through 2 now.
Cruz remaining on the inside. He's got 4 top 5s and 7 top 10s so far this season. Made 10 starts in the Truck Series last year. Trying to get a win here. Former Trans Am racer, much like Connor Zilic. To the outside again comes Allgaier. And that's exactly what Jesse Love wants to see right now. He's put at least a second or so between himself and the second and third place cars.
He's nearly a second out. 9/10 of one right now.
Corey Day goes to the inside of Carson Kvapil. That battle is for the 4th position, and it looks like Corey Day is going to be able to clear Kvapil pretty easily. So Carson Kvapil, unfortunately for his sake, starting to fall back after starting second here in the final stage.
I think early on in this stage, it's 90 laps instead of the 45 that you ran. Really just got to find your groove here. See if you're able to hold on position, start gaining a lead if you're one of these front cars.
Allgaier back to the outside of Brent Cruz. The battle for second continues. Neither one of those guys able to get too far away from the other. Now Allgaier takes over second position as he's able to drive right around Brent Cruz on that outside lane. Impressive stuff from the 7. It's been very rare that this weekend that we've seen a car be able to get by on the outside lane, Jacob.
That it has. I mean, we saw it a few times with Love and Allgaier battling. But so far, it's been a hard place to pass.
Jesse Love well out in front of Allgaier and Cruz, and now Cruz back to the inside of Justin Allgaier for second position. Those two just continuing to go back and forth, crossover move and pass after pass. This battle not slowing down anytime soon, it would appear, as Brandon Jones and Sam Mayer also side by side back there fighting for 7th position. And Mayer, it looks like, may have a chance, and he will get around Brandon Jones for that 7th spot on the outside lane, as Carson Kvapil and Sawalich are side by side as well for 5th. Mayer trying to go to the inside of William Sawalich, not quite able to, but is inside of Carson Kvapil, who fell back a little bit after that momentum in turns 1 and 2. We'll see if Mayer is able to make the pass on the Junior Motorsports #1 car. Might be able to take Brandon Jones with him. He does go to the inside, and he's going to get clear of that car. Sam Mayer moves up to 7th spot.
Brandon. Tight racing there. A little rubbing going on.
Brandon Jones remains to the inside of Carson Kvapil. Meanwhile, the battle for second continues. It is Cruz out in front of Allgaier, and he will be able to clear Justin Allgaier thanks to that inside lane going down the back straightaway. Cruz second, Allgaier third, and now we'll see if Cruz can finally gap Allgaier and get towards Jesse Love.
I mean, we've seen Allgaier all day, though, really battle back in those corners. And so with his previous battles with Love would be able to close that gap going down that back straight mainly, but then barely hold on to it through the corners there. And that's where the real battle was with those two. And so Allgaier able to hold on to it and come back through the corners.
Carson Kvapil has dropped 6 spots since the restart. Justin Allgaier up 3 spots. He's one of the biggest movers so far after this restart. And Sam Mayer also up 3 spots after that final stage restart as well. Now Cruz putting a little bit of distance between himself and Justin Allgaier, and he may have a chance to eat in to this Jesse Love lead, which currently stands at about a second or so. Cruz in that number 19 Toyota, young phenom, brought into JGR, trying to become the next big thing in the world of the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. We've seen young guys like him have success at tracks like Nashville before, and we'll see if Cruz can add his name to that collection. Jesse Love, of course, though, a lot of consistent success historically at Nashville Superspeedway. Jacob, all time, he has not finished worse than 6th at this track.
I thought it was 8th.
It may be 8th. It's somewhere in the top 10. It's one of the two. I'm pretty sure it's 6th, though. I could be wrong.
6, maybe 7, 8, 6th or 8.
6th or 7th, maybe? Somewhere in there. Jesse Love out in front of the pack. Brent Cruz has dropped that lead down just a little bit. It's about half a second now between himself and the number 2 car. And Cruz may have a chance soon to get on the bumper of Jesse Love and make a crucial pass early here in this final stage. Mostly single file behind him. But remember, Jacob, despite all of this, we're going to have at least one more pit stop, maybe 2, before this race comes to an end. And that's where the strategy calls, especially if we stay green, is going to get very interesting.
That is right. I mean, we've seen him come in on both pit opportunities so far under caution. So about 45 laps. See who's able to, one, keep their tires fresh, and who's able to manage their fuel levels the best.
Kyle Larson trying to make a move to the inside of Austin Hill. Remember, Larson had that huge loose moment earlier. He's now back in 13th, trying to take over 12th from the number 21 car. Hill up 3 spots since the restart. Larson has dropped 5. A very unusual spot for Larson, who's already got 2 O'Reilly Series wins on the season, but has just been struggling today. Has been in the top 10 occasionally, but just has not been able to make his way consistently up through the field yet, Jacob. We saw another Cup guy, Ross Chastain, in the Truck Series race last night. Had some success, but ended up falling short, finished 3rd behind Rajah Caruth and Lane Riggs at the end of that race, and a great finish right towards the end. And as far as Cup regulars go, not having a lot of success overall as far as winning in the lower series so far this weekend, and I'm sure that's music to the ears of these O'Reilly and Truck regulars. And one of those is Jesse Love out in front for Richard Childress Racing, but Brent Cruz slowly but surely making up a gap, trying to make his way to the lead. 73 to go in the final stage. We'll take a timeout and be right back to Nashville Superspeedway in 2 minutes on the MTN Sports Network.
Smokey the Bear's boy. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
Don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Back here on the MTN Sports Network with the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and there is a new leader out in front of the pack. Brent Cruz taking the lead away from Jesse Love, and there was a little bit of contact down the front straightaway, Jacob, as Cruz now with a 2 or 3 car length gap over second place Love.
Almost half a second already, and I mean, it just happened on that last lap. And I don't want to quote too many movies, but we all know that rubbing's a part of racing.
Rubbin is indeed racing, and we've seen some Rubbin is racing moments here tonight, and that may have been the biggest. Jesse Love was loose going down the front stretch and had to collect his car and make sure he didn't smash into Brent Cruz. But as we saw, Cruz very aggressive in that situation, and that aggressiveness paid off. He's been able since to put a pretty good gap between himself and the second-place car, so I think that shows that, at least for now, Brent Cruz has maybe the most dominant car on track.
Let's hope, too. I mean, Allgaier, Day, and Sawalich able to cut some into that as they're chasing Love now.
And an interesting thing about Brent Cruz, again, he couldn't attend the first few races of the season, couldn't participate in those races because he was too young. So he's now found himself in this spot as we've got Jesse Love ducking onto pit road. I wonder if this is a strategy call. We'll find out here in just a bit, and we'll see if anybody else joins him. But this seems pretty early on in the stage to be pitting, Jacob.
That is right. I mean, we're only 120 laps in, and so 30 since his last pit stop. See what they come out with.
Well, definitely some sort of strategy call it looks like for Jesse Love. This could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on if we get a caution towards the middle point of this final stage. Still with about 65 laps or so to go here in this race. Love making a 4-tire change and taking a pretty decent amount of time on pit road. He's got to be careful. He could end up going a lap down to Brent Cruz right here, and they're actually working on the left rear quarter panel, it looks like. Maybe that contact that we saw earlier with Brent Cruz is the reason they decided to come down pit road, and that would make a lot more sense as to why they ducked down as early as they did, Jacob. That could be catastrophic for the number 2 Chevrolet.
Going to have to see where he comes out.
I don't think he's going to be able to stay on the lead lap with the way things look. He's about to barrel his way over towards turn number 2. But unless miracles happen here, Jesse Love's contention for this race may have gone up in smoke, both literally and figuratively, as Brent Cruz now well out in front of second place Justin Allgaier with about a 2.5-second gap between the leader and second place. But that gap between second and third, not big at all. Corey Day and Justin Allgaier pretty much right beside each other. That could heat up here in just a moment.
Sawalich only a few seconds behind them with Sam Meyer and Brandon Jones. And so it's still a tight battle. Big gap, though, between Jones and the number 1 car. Almost 3 seconds there.
So for the second time here this weekend, we've seen a guy in second place. We saw it last night in the truck race, too. Inexplicably have to go down pit road because of either a mechanical issue or, in this case, a rubbed-in fender. Just goes to show you that you want to make contact, Jacob, but you don't want to make too much contact, knock your own fender in, and take yourself out of contention.
There's definitely a right amount of contact there, and I mean, did not turn out there good for Love as he currently finds himself towards the bottom of the pecking order there.
Yeah, Jesse Love is certainly going to have a lot of work to do. Down in 29th position, he is the first car a lap down, so he would have a chance. He could get the lucky dog if a caution comes out, but we have not seen a single incident for cause so far tonight, so that may be wishful thinking for him. We'll see as this stage continues on. The battle for second continues between Justin Allgaier and Corey Day. Allgaier with a pretty good gap out in front of Day now, but meanwhile, Sammy Smith is side by side as well for 9th position with Parker Retzlaff. Retzlaff just in front of Smith coming out of turn number 2, but able to get back to his inside is Sammy Smith side by side down the backstretch, Jacob.
Seen a relatively clean race so far. I mean, besides a couple people getting loose in the corners there, and then losing it. Overall, not too bad. Some traffic now coming up from Allgaier, though, as he's giving chase.
And that could play into Corey Day's hands as he tries to take over that second position. Still about a 2 or 3 car length gap between second and third place, but the gap is shrinking more and more as time goes on. And also another battle that may be heating up soon, Sam Mayer and William Sawalich separated by maybe just a couple of car lengths. Brandon Jones not too far behind. This could get interesting in short order if those cars all get jumbled up thanks to lap traffic, Jacob.
I mean, Sawalich and Mayer have been pretty close so far the past few laps, and so see if that gap can get closed in and get some racing going here.
Allgaier working to the inside of those 2 lap cars. Corey Day follows in behind. We have 60 laps to go here in the final stage of our race. But I'll tell you what, Brent Cruz has set sail now 2.5 seconds ahead of Justin Allgaier as LeVar Scott almost got run into going down the front straightaway, had a car right underneath his left rear quarter panel, able to skate by without incident, but that was a very close moment for those 2 guys.
Day diving down in to the inside past those lap cars. Now he's got some clean air as he gives chase to Allgaier.
William Sawalich still out in front of Sam Mayer, but again, because of the lap cars, that gap is going to continue to shrink just ever so slightly. And as we get further along into the stage, Jacob, the long run speed is really going to start coming into effect for some of these cars, and we're going to find out who's got the car that's going to last towards the finish of this 250-mile event.
Fortunately, most of these lap cars, understanding that they're running 2 different races now, and so those lap cars racing each other, but when they do see those lead lap drivers tend to move up higher on the track and just continue running their own race.
Yeah, and that's been good to see so far. Everybody staying out of the way, and that's what you want to see if you are the leaders, like Brent Cruz out in front for Joe Gibbs Racing. That Toyota has been bad fast so far tonight, and with 57 laps to go, it is the rookie out in front trying to claim his first career NASCAR O'Reilly Series win. Justin Allgaier in second, Corey Day third, William Sawalich fourth, Sam Mayer fifth, Brandon Jones sixth, Carson Quapple seventh, Taylor Gray in eighth, Sammy Smith in ninth, and Kyle Larson is going to round out our top 10. We'll take a quick 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll be back to Nashville Superspeedway for the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Back in 2.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisisfreetirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back here at the Nashville Superspeedway. 52 laps to go here in the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. Dylan Simmons, Jacob Burgess, and our producer Kendall Davis joining you here on this Saturday night. It's been a fantastic night of O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing. Brent Cruz out in front, about a 3-second gap between himself and second place Justin Allgaier. Cruz now with 18 laps led, and no pun intended, Jacob, but he is cruising potentially to his first career NASCAR National Touring Series win tonight.
He really is. And I mean, Allgaier's got 3 lap cars in front of him right now, and so having to deal with some dirty traffic really helping Cruz extend that lead, though.
As we take a look back on the replay, there was some contact between himself and Jesse Love, who was the dominator in the early part of the race. We're looking back at it now. There was slight contact with the left rear quarter panel of Love that ended up causing Love to duck down onto pit road, Jacob, and that has put Jesse Love a lap down, on the verge of going 2 laps down. It's pretty much ruined his entire night. A tough break for a guy who had led a majority of the laps early in this race.
It really is, and now he's just got to try and keep his head on straight, finish this race here. See if he's able to get lucky with maybe another caution.
We have 50 laps to go here at the Nashville Superspeedway. There's a look at Jesse Love on the TV screen right now as he makes his way down the front straightaway. I know you folks can't see it, but I'll do my best to describe it for you. Love trying to stay in position to maybe get that lap back. Of course, he is in the lucky dog spot, but still a long way to go if he wants any chance of contending for this race late. It's going to take a series of events similar to what we saw in the Craftsman Truck Series race last night for anything like that to happen. But meanwhile, it is Corey Day trying to hold his position over in third spot as he's got William Sawalich behind him. Justin Allgaier, though, and Corey Day pretty close to each other, only 4/10 separating the two. We'll see if that battle for second comes into play here soon.
He's going to have to find that groove back and get the lap.
And one thing interesting to note about Brent Cruz, and I brought this up earlier, is that Cruz, again, couldn't attend the first few races of the season, but that puts him in an odd position in the point standings. He's currently 15th in the points, outside of what would be the chase cutoff. In the O'Reilly Series, the top 10 drivers advance, or top 12 drivers advance to the chase. So Cruz is on the outside looking in, but if he keeps up with his consistent performances, and especially if he wins this race tonight, he could be on the verge of knocking on the door of the chase.
That is true, and Allgaier finally able to get some clean track in front of him as he's going through 2 right now.
Yeah, he's been dealing with lap traffic for a while. Sorry to interrupt you, partner.
No, he is. I mean, and right now it hopes that Cruz is dealing with lap traffic now in front of him. And so Allgaier, see if he can pick up some time here over the next lap or 2 as Cruz tries to battle to see if he's able to get through.
Boy, Sam Mayer all over the back bumper of William Sawalich. They're battling for 4th position right now as Sawalich came up on some lap traffic trying to dive in underneath the 91 car. Sawalich, it looks like, will clear that lap traffic, but that almost allows Sam Mayer to go by. Brandon Jones right behind them in the 6th spot. He wants to join into this party for the 4th position. And we have Sammy Smith coming to pit road from the top 10. Smith had been one of the better cars towards the end of this run. We'll see if he's the first taker on pit road, and we'll see if anybody else joins him. We are on the verge of potentially having that window where guys could make it on fuel, Jacob, so I expect that we'll see some more takers here soon.
Harrison Burton also dove down into pit lane, the 24 car.
Looks like we'll get some other takers on pit road. Carson Quapple is also down, and Parker Retzloff in the 99 car will join him as well. A couple of Chevrolets diving onto pit road, and they'll be joined by one other car as well. I believe that might be Taylor Gray. We'll find out for you in just a moment. But overall, strategy starting to play a role, and it looks like 4 tires for most of these guys. Got to ask, Jacob, do you dare take 2 in this spot?
It is definitely a possibility. I mean, just depends on the wear you're currently seeing, how the car is feeling through those corners especially.
And there is Taylor Gray diving down onto pit road, sliding into his box. And again, it looks like 4 tires and gas for most of these drivers. With the way tire wear is at this racetrack, you can't really blame him. Anthony Alfredo is also now diving onto pit road here in this contest, and he will likely get the same adjustment of 4 tires and fuel.
Allgaier on it too.
Yep, and there comes Justin Allgaier. Good call, partner. He'll make his way down. So I expect that we'll see some more of the leaders coming down as time goes on. And this is where your efficiency and your precision on pit road is at an all-time high, because if you mess up in this spot, it's going to cost you potential seconds on the racetrack, and seconds no small thing in NASCAR.
That it's not.
And here comes Brent Cruz. He will dive onto pit road. Another thing you got to watch here with the way that pit road is shaped, very odd. It could result in too fast entering or too fast exiting, so you got to make sure to maintain your typical pit road pace as well. As Brent Cruz mostly getting fuel injected, he'll get 4 tires, it looks like, on the stop. Corey Day is in as well as William Sawalich. Kyle Larson now making his way down pit road. Sam Mayer. So this is most of the top 10 here, Jacob.
Oh, Cruz getting into a close little thing there with the 00 car.
Yeah, that's Sheldon Creed. There. Bumper to bumper on pit road, almost made some contact. That could have been very disastrous for the young rookie trying to win his first race. Cruz makes his way off of pit road with William Sawalich, Corey Day, and Sam Mayer behind him. And we'll see if any of those guys will have anything for Brent Cruz as these pit road cycles continue to cycle out. Right now, the leader is Austin Hill, who has not yet made his way to pit road. He's followed by Ryan Sieg, Brandon Jones, as well as Sawalich, Larson, Jeremy Clements. So we'll see how it all shuffles out in just a moment as the running order gets recalibrated. But all those guys will at some point have to head to pit road. Brandon Jones is now on pit road. As we take a look at the current gap between those guys towards the top 10 in Justin Allgaier as well as Brent Cruz, they're separated, it looks like, by a total of maybe a couple of seconds or so.
About 2 seconds right now between the both of them.
A lot of chaos to shuffle out on this long green flag run. Still no incidents for cause tonight, and that could mean that this is one of the final stops, if not the final stop, on our way to deciding a victor here at Nashville Superspeedway. Right now on top is Austin Hill. Has not yet come onto pit road. We'll see how long that remains, and now Austin Hill will make his way onto pit road. The 32 car of Rajah Caruth for Jordan Anderson Racing, who finished second last night in the Truck Series, is also on pit road and will now make his way off. So this should just about cycle us back to the top part of the leaderboard with the guys that we would usually expect, at least for this race, to be there. And it's going to be interesting to see who had the best pit stops and set themselves up in the best possible position. But here's a question that I'm sure a lot of these drivers don't want to think about. But if there is a caution in this situation soon, Jacob, what do you do as a driver and a crew? Do you come back down pit road and maybe have a chance to get 4 fresh tires like Lane Riggs did last night, which could help you to win the race? Or do you maybe play the track position game as we get further down towards the end of this race?
I think it comes down to each and every driver, just depending on how they feel going into it. Because, I mean, we've seen so far Brent Cruz done really good kind of overall in the straights and the corners. When you look at somebody, though, on the other hand, though, like Allgaier, really good in the corners. And so his tires are probably picking up a little bit more wear. And so then you start thinking, okay, hey, we got these tires, see how many more we have left, because obviously they've already pitted 3 or 4 times now. And so see how many tires they got left if they need fuel, right?
Right.
Because you obviously don't want to die out without any fuel in the final lap trying to come around turn 3.
Those calculators are crunching right now. Patrick Starpoli is also on to pit road, and that should cycle us back to the leaders we expect to see. Brent Cruz is now out in front. Justin Allgaier is a second and probably about 0.8 of a second behind him. William Sawalich 4 2/3 seconds behind Brent Cruz. Corey Day in 4th. Sam Mayer in 5th. Mason Maggio in 6th. Patrick Starpoli in 7th. Brandon Jones 8th. Carson Quapple 9th. Kyle Larson rounds out the top 10. 36 to go here at Nashville Superspeedway. We'll take a quick 2-minute timeout and be right back for the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough. But if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Welcome back here on the MTN Sports Network. Dylan Simmons and Jacob Burgess joining you here on this Saturday night. 32 laps to go here on the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. It is Brent Cruz out in front. Justin Allgaier is in behind in the second spot. William Sawalich for Joe Gibbs Racing in third. Sam Mayer in fourth. Corey Day in fifth. But I'll tell you this, Jacob, the gap between the leader and second place is not as big as it was earlier. Only half a second separating the 19 and the 7.
That is right. I mean, Allgaier had a kind of a rough pit stop for his last one still, but able to pick up some of the time there as he's currently coming around turn 4 going along the main straightaway. He's got one lap coming in front of him between Cruz, and so he's able to get by here in a second.
Sam Mayer currently 4.5 seconds behind those two. William Sawalich in third, pretty good distance as well away from Allgaier and Cruz. So as far as the lead goes, it's between those two right now and nobody else. And with just about 30 laps to go, there is only a limited amount of time to make your way back up through the pack if there is no caution. But as we said, if there is a caution, that'll completely change the dynamics of this race so far. As of right now, Jacob, pretty much single file most of the way through with a couple cars side by side coming out of turn number 4. Of course, we've got Corey Day trying to make his way up towards Sam Mayer. Those two only separated by about maybe half a second.
It is definitely a possibility. I mean, and if you're somebody like Love, I mean, I think that's what you're trying to hope for to get back in this race. Somebody who led for 87 laps of it now has to finish out the race. Currently he would have 67 laps left on that set of tires, and so he either might have to pit again, just run with those degrading tires though,
right,
for 20 laps, or hope for a caution.
Jesse Love currently listed in the 13th position. Of course, like we said, he had to go to pit road earlier due to a fender being rubbed in, and that put him a lap down. He has stayed out since then and is back on the lead lap. Probably trying to avoid pitting here in case a caution does come out, in which case he would stay on the lead lap and then he could go to service on pit road without having to go a lap down. So it's very much a strategy call. We got a car sideways on the entrance of pit road. It's Cletus McFarland again towards the inside wall. Gets it going straight, but that was almost the potential game-changing caution here with about 27 laps to go in the race.
Stayed under green, though, as he was officially into pit lane when he did that.
It has been a tough night for Cletus McFarland. A couple of spins now. Spun out earlier coming out of turn number 4 and spins out here coming towards pit road. But thankfully for him, he'll be able to keep going, and that'll keep the field in their usual position throughout the remainder, at least for now, of this race. We do have a car on pit road with some mechanical problems. That is the 53 car of David Starr, currently listed in the 37th position, and it looks like he's probably not going to be able to get that one going anytime soon.
Looked like Cletus might have been serving a penalty there as he rode straight through. I mean, well, he didn't roll straight through. He got turned around coming in the pit lane, but once he got back around, right around, just rode straight through it, so he might have been serving a time penalty there.
Didn't hear any news of that, but there is a possibility that that is indeed the case. And, you know, Jacob, what's that old song, You Spin Me Right Round? That's kind of what happened to Cletus McFarland there towards the entrance of pit road.
Big Pitbull fan?
Well, I'm talking about the. I'm talking about
Timber?
the. Well, I do like some Pitbull, and you know I was in Miami recently.
Well, you were, and that's. I'm pretty sure the song you're talking about is Timber by Pitbull and Kesha.
That's not Spin Me Right Round. That's Flo Rida.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm very sure. I know my Flo Rida. I just went to Miami, man. I know my stuff when it comes to that. You ever been to Miami?
I have not.
I would recommend it. It's a pretty good time. Well, a guy who may want to go somewhere for a victory celebration if this thing continues is Brent Cruz, still out in front. He has now led 41 laps. That is the second most of anyone tonight. Justin Allgaier still 6.5 seconds back, or excuse me, 0.6 of a second back of Allgaier. Read the numbers wrong right there. William Sawalich back in third. Sam Mayer still in fourth. Corey Day in fifth. It's been pretty much the standard top five the last few laps, and we're closing in on 20 laps to go in this contest. We'll have to see if any sort of dynamics change as this one closes in on its finish. We are going to take a quick timeout here in just a second. We'll be back in 2 minutes to the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 here at the Nashville Superspeedway with Brent Cruz out in front.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
Welcome back here on the MTN Sports Network. We've got a battle for the lead. Justin Allgaier inside of Brent Cruz, and the 7 car clears him. Coming out of turn number 2, Cruz will dive back to the inside. They're going to be side by side again down the back straightaway. This battle has been developing, and it's about to reach a crescendo, Jacob.
See how it goes here into the corner. Allgaier has been so good in the corners today. Now, if he's able to pick this up coming out of it, though, see, that's going to be the real question. Is there side-by-side through the line?
Still side-by-side down the straightaway. This could be the battle for the win. We may not get another restart, so you got to take advantage of what you have. Cruz right on the left rear quarter panel of Justin Allgaier. Side-by-side again coming out of turn number 2. That is tight down the straightaway as they continue to side draft here at the Nashville Superspeedway.
Now, big question coming up, though. Got some traffic in front of him. Looks like that traffic is going to try and move out of the way, possibly letting them keep racing here.
Allgaier hanging tough on the outside. Cruz right beside him. Allgaier by a nose at the line. Lap car's got to get out of the way. He will. Cruz remains to the inside of Allgaier. Tight down there. Boy, Cruz almost made contact with that lap car. Still on the left rear quarter panel of Allgaier. Just barely sticking with him down the backstretch. Now Allgaier will be able to clear Brent Cruz, but for how long?
Well, see here.
Dive bombs it in there. Oh, made some contact maybe with Allgaier on the back bumper. Gets back to his inside. Brent Cruz back to the lead, trying to get clear down the front stretch. They'll continue to remain side by side. 16 laps to go here at Nashville. Allgaier with a nose out in front on the outside lane. He's got the momentum. Brent Cruz trying not to lose him. Trying not to lose what could be the first win of his O'Reilly Auto Parts Series career. Right on his left rear once again. Maybe even a little contact down that back straightaway. They remain side by side. Cruz dive bombs once again. Allgaier hanging tough on the outside lane, and he will be able, it looks like, to clear Brent Cruz coming out of turn number 4 with 15 to go. What a battle for the lead, and what a job by Justin Allgaier, who had hung back for a large portion of the final stage. He now has the lead, and that may be all he needs to claim victory here tonight as Brent Cruz starting to fall back.
What a competitive last 3 laps that was, I mean. And that's something we've seen with Allgaier, really able to handle the corners. But he's seen a lot of battles coming back on those straightaways in that last lap, able to put some gap between him and Cruz.
William Sawalich now in the 3rd position. Sam Mayer still behind him in 4th. Corey Day in 5th. Pretty spread out for the top 5 except for the leaders, and it's Justin Allgaier trying to claim his 4th win of the season and extend an already imposing points lead. Had to start the race in the 17th position, fought back, dominated stage 2, fell behind after a bad pit stop here in the final stage, but has marched his way back to the front and just overtook the lead from the rookie Brent Cruz. And now Justin Allgaier trying to secure the 32nd win of his O'Reilly Auto Parts racing career, as he's now put about half a second between himself and the number 19 Toyota. And with how this race has been progressing, Jacob, I'm not sure, unless Brent Cruz can pull a rabbit out of the hat late in the final 10 laps or so, that this couldn't have been the pass for the win here. You got to take advantage of your opportunities when you get them, and Cruz may not have any more opportunities to speak of. They'll still be dealing with some lap traffic that could possibly help Brent Cruz in this situation. He's going to have to find out whether or not he's got that long run speed to hang with Justin Allgaier towards the end of this stage. And remember, Jacob, we're getting towards the end of the run on those tires, so tire wear could come into play very soon here.
You start thinking about it, though, with this lap traffic. If you're Allgaier, you're just trying to get it around it as soon as possible. But it could be that benefit for Cruz, 1, by slowing Allgaier up, but 2, possibly using it to draft on them. And so if you're able to find, another manufacturer car, a team car out there, see if you can draft your way into a possible fight here with Allgaier for first.
Allgaier down the back straightaway. Now about 0.6 of a second between himself and Brent Cruz. Looking like he's in good position to maybe dominate these final 10 laps or so and take, again, what would be that 4th win of the season. By the way, folks, our final 10 laps are sponsored by MTSU Counseling Services, providing high-quality mental care that educates, enhances, and empowers students. MTSU Counseling Services is here to help. Come by anytime, Monday through Friday, at the Keithley University Center. Andrew Overstreet on the pit box, watching his driver, Justin Allgaier, a couple of veterans, students of the game who've been in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series for a long time, trying to see if they can get yet another checkered flag here tonight with 9 laps to go. We got Sheldon Creed and Jesse Love fighting for position a little bit further back in the running order. Jesse Love currently in the 15th position against Sheldon Creed. Both of them not having the nights that they would prefer. Of course, Love was dominant early on. Looked like he may have a chance to take the victory, but due to a tire rub that he sustained when fighting for the lead with Brent Cruz, that pretty much torpedoed any chance of a win that Jesse Love had here tonight. Second night in a row that Jesse Love has had some problems, not necessarily by a crash, but through some contact. 8 laps to go here in Nashville as they continue to run mostly single file, and that is exactly what Justin Allgaier wants to see. In his mind, the simpler and the less action, the better, and the more of a gap he can continue to put between himself and the second-place car. And at this point, if you're Brent Cruz, you got to be feeling that desperation just a little bit, Jacob. You know you're running out of time. You don't have that much time to work with, and you can't rely on a caution flag to bail you out in this situation. If you're that number 19 Toyota, I'd say you got to go, and you got to go now.
That's right. I mean, Cruz has Jeremy Clement in front of him, another Chevy, who might be trying to possibly help Allgaier out some.
Got a battle for 5th position. Brandon Jones going to the inside of Corey Day going into turn number 3. And it looks as though Jones will be able to clear that number 17 Hendrick Chevrolet. And Brandon Jones will make his way into the top 5 as he tries to get a few more points here tonight in the final stage of this one. Now with just 6 laps to go here at Nashville Superspeedway, and Justin Allgaier smooth sailing right now, hoping that those smooth winds will continue to blow his way. In his career, he's been Mr. Consistency in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. He's never finished lower than 7th in points in his career in 15 full-time seasons. He's also competed in several cup races, knows the sport better than just about anybody at this point in time, and is trying to claim what would be his 2nd career O'Reilly Series championship after he won back in 2024 and trying to become the first O'Reilly Series champion under the new chase format.
Allgaier and Cruz now with clean air and plenty of asphalt in front of him. See if he's able to close that gap. I mean, it's a second now.
The gap has only continued to widen between Brent Cruz and Justin Allgaier. Now 4 laps to go here at Nashville Superspeedway, and Justin Allgaier trying to make it to that oh-so-important white flag. That's the thing, Jacob. If you make it to the white flag, the race is official, and the next flag will end the race. So Allgaier just trying to make it really 3 more laps at least, and then with his dominant position, he should be in position to take the victory. It'll be 3 laps to go this time by for Justin Allgaier, trying to get the win at Nashville Superspeedway. Brent Cruz about a second and a half back, mired in lap traffic. And Justin Allgaier continues to put on a masterclass. He's led 47 laps tonight, and he may have a chance to make it to an even 50 if he can finish this thing off here in just a sec.
So for everybody else running cleanly these last few laps,
Allgaier will make his way onto the front stretch. 2 laps to go here at Nashville Superspeedway. Does Brent Cruz have anything left? He's got a lot of ground to make up. Cruz probably at this point hoping for a caution of some type to change things up and give him a chance to at least fight for this lead late. But unless something happens within the next 15 seconds or so, it looks like Justin Allgaier will come through turns 3 and 4 and take this white flag, which means that the next flag will end this race as Allgaier makes his way down the front stretch. It's the MT one-stop, 1 to go here at Nashville Superspeedway. Allgaier with a huge lead out in front of Brent Cruz, looking for his 4th win of the season. He won 3 of 4 back in March and is trying to widen that points lead here at Nashville Superspeedway tonight as he makes his way down the backstretch. That Severin Chevrolet has been oh so impressive tonight. And Allgaier trying to make this summer one to remember, and he might be able to do it as he comes out of turn number 4. Allgaier down the front stretch receives the checkered flag. He'll win at Nashville Superspeedway. Brent Cruz will finish in 2nd. So close for the rookie, had a chance for his first career win tonight. Allgaier just a little bit better late. William Sawalich 3rd, Sam Mayer 4th, Brandon Jones in 5th, Corey Day with a top 10 finish. Carson Quapple finishes in 7th. Kyle Larson will finish in 8th. Taylor Gray 9th for Joe Gibbs Racing. Sammy Smith will finish up in 10th. And what a night for Joe Gibbs Racing as well. 3 top 10 efforts from his cars. But the man of the hour is Justin Allgaier. His 4th win of the season. The points leader showing his stuff. Career win number 32 for the number 7 Junior Motorsports Chevrolet. And Boss Dale Jr., who is either in Nashville or will be in Nashville shortly, has to be very proud of his driver's performance here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway as he's going to burn it down the front straightaway.
Allgaier with a really great performance there, coming back from starting 16th on the night. Battled through a couple different lead changes with Love and Cruz. Able to come away, though, in those final few laps and pick up another victory.
And it was kind of the inverse of the Craftsman Truck Series race last night. We had pure chaos towards the end of that one. This one pretty clean all the way through. Not a single caution for incident tonight, just the stage cautions, and that's exactly the way that Justin Allgaier likes it. Nothing but pure, unadulterated domination here on this full moon Saturday night as the fireworks go off over the backstretch, and Allgaier going to pop right through the roof. Don't see that very often. We've seen Connor Zilic do this a couple times. Allgaier almost losing his balance on the roof, but make no mistake about it, despite being maybe a little uncoordinated, he's still number one, and a great tribute for Kyle Busch as well. Does the bow and then raises up the 8 with his fingers on the apron of the racetrack. What a day for Justin Allgaier. What a day for Junior Motorsports, and what a weekend it's been so far here at Nashville Superspeedway. Win number 4 for Justin Allgaier here this season. We're going to take one more 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we will wrap things up here in the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 and go over Justin Allgaier's dominant win here tonight at the Nashville Superspeedway.
Smokey the Bear's Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do. Don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at smokeybear.com, and remember,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back here on the MTN Sports Network, and the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 is complete here at the Nashville Superspeedway for the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and it is Justin Allgaier for Junior Motorsports picking up his league-leading 4th win of the season, and doing so in dominant fashion here tonight on this 1 1/3 mile oval here in Nashville, Tennessee. Brent Cruz, the rookie, with a great effort tonight, led 45 laps, looked as though it might be the race for him to win and get his first career victory, but unfortunately coming up just a little bit short as Allgaier made the pass with about 15 laps to go late in this race. William Sawalich, another Joe Gibbs Toyota, ends up in 3rd. Sam Mayer 4th. Brandon Jones, another Joe Gibbs car, rounding out the top 5. In fact, top 10 littered with Joe Gibbs racing cars, all 4 of them with top 10 finishes tonight. But again, as has been the standard most of the way this season, it's a Chevrolet getting the win tonight, and it's Justin Allgaier. What a performance by him, Jacob.
I mean, really was starting down in, what was it, 16th position?
17th.
17th.
Yes.
Just one more there, and able to come back. Had a couple of battles throughout the night. I mean, that first one starting off, though, with Love. Jesse Love and him going back and forth throughout the entire night. Really tight battles there at the end of stage 1 and 2. And then Love with that pit stop after some contact really put him behind. And then the battle with Brent Cruz. I mean, back and forth almost to the end there.
Yes, it was very competitive between Cruz and Allgaier. And again, you got to shout out Jesse Love. Like you mentioned, led pretty much the entire way. In fact, did lead the entire way in stage 1, but of course due to that fender rub that he had with Brent Cruz, ended up having to drop out and drop down in the running order. It will be Jesse Love finishing in the 16th spot tonight, so still ended up on the lead lap, but didn't have the finish that I'm sure he was looking for. Sheldon Krieg with a 15th place finish tonight and had a pretty good starting spot, so not the night that I'm sure that he was hoping for in this one, but they will both have more chances in the future. Allgaier now with his 4th win of the season. This will be his 11th top 5 and 13th top 10, and that big points lead of 145 is going to only be extended with Jesse Love finishing very low in the order tonight and Allgaier getting the victory. So Justin Allgaier, I'd say pretty safe to say he is the favorite for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series Championship as we get closer and closer to that all-important chase for the title. Jacob, any last words here tonight from the Nashville Superspeedway?
It was a good night for racing. The rain stayed away. Hopefully it does it tomorrow for the Cup Series race that will be back for round out a complete weekend of racing here.
Yeah, it is a great weekend for racing here in Nashville, Tennessee, and like you mentioned, we will be back tomorrow with the NASCAR Cup Series Cracker Barrel 400. Denny Hamlin will be on the pole. Should be a phenomenal night of racing. We'll see who will claim the ultimate crown here in the finale of this awesome racing weekend here at the Nashville Superspeedway. But as for tonight, for my partner Jacob Burgess and for my producer Kendall Davis, I'm Dylan Simmons saying long from the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250, Justin Allgaier with his 4th win of the season. We will see you tomorrow night on the MTN Sports Network. So long and have an electric night.